You Klystrons are allies of the Cardassians. Your knowledge of the station confirms that. They must have given you the layouts, which not only compromises Bajoran's security, but also annoys us.
One of the reasons I am so passionate about certain scenes or events, even to the point of being critical about how sometimes they make no sense at all, is because if writers actually put in the effort, they can make a solid story that is bolstered by the fact that, when you analyze it, it all comes together. It is just so fun for something to really fit. An example of where this happens, for the most part at least, is in the Deep Space Nine episode, Dax. For those who haven't seen it in a while, what is important to this analysis is the attempt to kidnap Jadzia Dax, and it is just really well done. It makes both the heroes and the villains look competent, and because of that, it raises the stakes of the entire episode. Everything that comes after this attempt feels more surreal, feels more visceral, because you know you're dealing with someone who knows what they're doing. Let's break it down.
Yes, Major.
I'm just not sure, Commander. What does it look like to you?
It looks like a residual charge in the graviton generator. If that's what it is, it'll bleed off. Let's run a quick level 3 diagnostic just to be sure.
So, I know, I've built up this great masterpiece of writing, and now I'm starting with something inane. But it's actually pretty important. While you might be tempted to think that the kidnapping begins when Jadzia is captured, it really doesn't. This is because our antagonists aren't stupid. They know that the heroes have the home turf advantage and have a wide array of tools that will help them. So these advantages have to be neutralized. In this specific interaction, the heroes notice that something seems off, but it doesn't raise any alarms yet and seems maybe normal. Add on to that we have the double whammy that the chief engineer is not here and it's going to take longer to have this issue resolved. While honestly it's never stated, I don't think it's by accident that O'Brien isn't there when they have technical issues. I think this was planned from the start. And what's funny is that the heroes don't even realize that this technical glitch is going to become pretty important in the oncoming battle of wits. Let's continue.
Bashir to Ops.
Ops!
3 people. I think they just took Jadzia. She tried to struggle with him and I tried to help, but...
Full station security alert. Secure all turbolifts, seal off airlocks to levels 4 through 12.
Jesus Christ, I know you have a past with the woman, but this seems excessive. I don't think random Bajoran citizen Lakarai would get this same response, but okay.
Computer, locate Lieutenant Dax.
Lieutenant Dax is on level 6, corridor 1.
No, that's where I am. They just left her comm badge.
How long ago, Doctor?
Oh, I'm not sure, really.
Man, I love how subtle and how small things are just done so well. Sisko naturally tries to see if the computer can determine where Jadzia is, because that's what you would do. You would just ask the computer without even thinking about it. But said computer is only going to pick up the comm badge. And the kidnappers are smarter than your average villain. They know by removing the badge, you remove the tracker. Additionally, Odo asks how long ago this happened because he's trying to determine how far they could have gotten. The really only useless character in this scenario is, well, Bashir. He honestly got the hell beat out of him because he discovered one of the people he was fighting was a woman, and I guess Season 1 Bashir only tries to sleep with women, not actually fight them? I don't know, he's the only thing I don't like. However, if you're like me, one of the things you might be asking is, why not use transporters? There are a few reasons. They don't know the species of the aliens that have taken Jadzia, so they can't pinpoint them that way. They might look for a Trill, but we know that Federation technology isn't able to distinguish between a joined Trill and a not joined Trill. So it is possible there are multiple Trill on board. Perhaps it's hard to identify which Trill is actually Jadzia, or maybe they can't get a lock. We also know that in certain parts of the station, people can't be transported away, so perhaps that's one of the problems as well. I'll admit this is kind of a plot hole, but again, we can explain what's going on.
What are you doing?
We turn right at the next corridor.
We're managing to avoid the security tracking grid. You seem to know a lot about the station.
Now, with both sides fully engaged, we have a face-off. And once again, the kidnappers are quite savvy. They are using their technology to stay off the grid so that they can't be seen. But what I love is that everything we see the Deep Space Nine crew doing is reasonable. And it would work if they weren't dealing with people who knew what they were doing as well. Unlike in the last Voyager breakdown that I did, neither side is winning or losing because of dumb luck. They're both facing off and being reasonable and trying to counteract the other.
You seem to know a lot about the station.
Then they may know the speed of our runabouts. If they do, they probably have a faster ship to make their escape.
Major, survey all ships in dock with a high warp capability. Damn!
What?
That's why we've got a residual charge in the graviton generator. They've disabled the tractor beam.
We've got 8 ships in dock capable of warp 5 or more. 3 on docking pylons, 5 smaller ones in the ports.
Seal off all docking ring airlocks.
And here we go. This is, in my opinion, excellent. Space Jesus and his merry band are piecing this together. They know they are dealing with someone who is aware of how the station works and knows the procedures. These people also apparently have security codes, which is alarming. The Starfleet and Bajoran crew can't just rely on technology now to save the day. They have to outthink these attackers who have prepared for this for God knows how long. Not only do they surmise that someone who has this much knowledge would also probably bring a ship that is faster than they can muster, but Sisko looks into the odd happenings that occurred before and realizes that it was sabotage. The tractor beam was brought down on purpose, which is something people like me would point out if they hadn't addressed it beforehand. How could people be this smart and not take out the tractor beam? But they are that smart. I love that none of this feels contrite, none of it is eye-rolling. Both sides still appear to be intelligently working against the other. When a roadblock is put in front of one side or the other, they work the problem.
Security, all duty squads to the docking ring commence immediate inward sweep levels 16 through 21.
Oh look. Security that is both in operations and around the station so that they can be called to better handle a situation because they're closer. Huh.
I've got them. Airlock 5.
I'm on my way. Security report to airlock corridor 5. We have a hostage situation.
Isolating with Cateran force fields.
Starfleet can't catch a break, nor should they. This kidnapping had been planned in advance. We find that out in the future, so things like this, like the force fields being bypassed, the doors being unlocked, the tractor beam being shut down, these are things that would be addressed by someone who was as smart as is presented later in the episode. And it always annoyed me when a locked door stopped the antagonist. People aren't that stupid, at least in fiction.
Force field is down. They know the security override codes. They're boarding a ship.
I'm trying to speed up the bleed-off process in the graviton generator.
We lost them.
It's working. I'm increasing the flow to the EPS waveguides.
The excess charge is neutralizing.
Engage tractor beam.
Gotcha.
I can't be the only one that when I first saw that, I thought Sisko decided to use phasers, but anyway. I suppose this is probably the weakest element of it all, but it doesn't completely destroy what just happened for me. In the episode, they tech their way out of the tractor beam problem, and it's not as thrilling. Had I been the writer, I probably would have had more physical usage of the actors. I wouldn't have Sisko sitting at a console, I'd probably have him go down into the guts of the station and actually use a flashlight to fix something. Have him rerouting stuff and make it seem last minute. At least have him using his hands versus just sitting down, but overall it's fine. After that, we've caught our bad guys. While the ending is a bit anticlimactic, I'll admit, overall it's fun. We see that the antagonists of the episode are actually pretty intelligent and so won't be as easily defeated, which now raises the stakes when they try to take Jadzia the right way. It also allows Kira to be sassy, and everyone loves that. All of this is just my thoughts though. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next Lore Reloaded.
Which not only compromises Bajoran security, but also annoys us.